Hello? Okay, is this working? Finally! Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to Kickstart Sports Radio. I'm your host, Charlie Cash, aka Kickstart. It's pleased to be with you on this afternoon. This is Kickstart Sports Radio, all sports and no ads, except for the occasional plug. Speaking of plugs, we have our usual tags. Find us at Kickstart Sports Radio on Instagram, YouTube, and find us on KNMC Radio. We're back! We're going back on the radio. I know I've been talking about this a long time, but we're finally going back Tuesdays and Thursdays, 90.1 FM in the Havre area. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5. We had to shift forward an hour because of my classes. Welcome back. Hope you all had a great Christmas. I'm doing as well as I can myself. I know I was kind of gung-ho about this whole YouTube thing, and now you're like, oh, he's done. He's going to... No. I actually really am enjoying this, and I really want to keep doing this. Now, as of what's going on right now with me, sorry, I've been gone for forever. I went home for a month for Christmas break, and a lot of stuff went down there. And then I came back. I missed the first few days of classes. But I've just been behind on a lot of stuff, and I'm finally home and I'm ready to work. And then I got sick. I don't know what I have, but this is leaking like a faucet. I don't know what the deal is. And then I was taking some NyQuil, and someone was like, "Why are you taking milk with it?" I don't, because milk is good. And they were like, "Yo, milk causes a lot of mucus." I didn't know that. Why do you know that? You're in college. What? What? You're supposed to be studying cars, not milk. Anyways, I don't know. So, yeah, forgive me. I like milk. Sue me. Anyways, we got some new background decorations. I got my Draymond Green jersey for Christmas. Thanks, Grandma. And then we got the Acuna one, which you guys will see later this week. And then the Mayfield one. So, let's talk about this. We're gonna jump into. I'm gonna go over my predictions. This piece of hair on my keyboard. I'm going to go over some predictions for my NFL Honors Awards, and then I'm going to let this be for a little bit. I'm going to focus on getting done with classes, getting graduated, and get out of here. I will be doing the radio, but that's it. Unless I take my computer down and I record radio, just straight footage, and put it on the internet. But other than that, don't expect to see many edited videos until probably about May. I'm just trying to get out of college, move in, and start my job. That's all we're trying to do here. So we're going to do that, but I first want to announce that I've been talking about this special guest for a few months. And I think I'm finally ready to get that video done. We recorded it in November, and it's an incredible video. Looking back on it, we predicted our results for the NFL. Oh my goodness gracious. But my predictions did not turn out so well, but his, really close. I'm super surprised at how good he called this. The special guest I'll be announcing at the end of the video, after I get this whole thing over with. So, let's just jump into it. These are my NFL Honors Awards predictions. Let's jump into it. Alright, and we're back. Okay, so let's jump into it. First, we're just gonna start with Defensive Rookie of the Year. We're gonna start small and we're gonna get bigger. Now, this is big for me. I'm gonna go over my top 3 candidates, and then I'll give you who I think is gonna win and who I'd like to win. Most of the time they're gonna be the same, but you know how it goes. Okay, let's jump into it. Defensive Rookie of the Year. There's 3 guys. They're all 2 are edge and 1 is a linebacker. James Pierce Jr. out of Atlanta. Abdul Carter, also edge rusher from the Giants. And Carson Swessinger from the Cleveland Browns. Now, you might think, oh, if you don't know sports, first of all, there's like a ton of people from not a ton, but there's a few people from my hometown that have been like, oh, I watch your videos. I know nothing about sports. Awesome. And anytime I mention the Browns, they tune out because they're like, oh, bias. No, hear me out. Carson Swessinger is actually the number 1 option, and he's who I'm picking and who I predict will win. He was the 33rd pick overall out of Ohio State. And he was not out of Ohio State. What am I saying? Dude, I'm like losing it. I think I'm dying. I think I have tuberculosis. I'm Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption. Ow! I need to put some alcohol in this. Carson Swessinger out of UCLA. The pick right around that from the Browns was Quinshon Judkins. He is out of Ohio State. Carson Swessinger's out of UCLA. Amazing linebacker. A dog. During that Steelers game, I don't know what he was dealing with. I think it was a hamstring injury. They tried to pull him out, and he's like, nope, you can't pull me out. I'm going to go get on the bike. Let me know what defense is up. Amazing. What a guy. Sneaky athleticism all the way. I'm just using all the buzzwords I can because I'm like sick and I can't even think about it. I'll just read the ESPN headline for you right here. 33rd pick was rangy and ever present for an excellent Browns defense. Schlesinger made 15.3% of tackles in Browns games, the sixth highest rate in the NFL, before hitting injured reserve with a quad injury entering week 18. The 22-year-old was also a very sound tackler, even while running on one of the highest tackle rates in the league. Schlesinger missed only 6% of his tackle attempts, an above average rate for players who got to ball carriers as often as he did. In his 9 tackles for loss against the run were tied for 4th in the league, a particularly impressive feat given that Myles Garrett is one of the 3 players ahead of him. Schlesinger also picked off 2 passes and made a 2.5 sacks in 9 knockdowns as a blitzer. His range slipped off a bit after he suffered a high ankle sprain mid-season, but Schlesinger is already one of the better off-ball linebackers in the NFL and should have been a Pro Bowl pick in the AFC. So looking at this on paper, Carson Schlesinger is immediately an amazing rookie linebacker. You're thinking, is he DPOY worthy? Yes, because not only is he really good, and he would do really good in a tight class. This is a particularly weak class for Defensive Player of the Year. The other 2 are Abdul Carter, who didn't really wake up until about the second half of the season, and then James Pierce Jr. from the Falcons. He has had a really quiet year up until Abdul Carter woke up. I was like, okay, let's start looking at this and see who my top 3 are. I didn't even know this. James Pierce Jr. led all rookies in sacks. He had 10.5. As a rookie, that's insane. He has had such a quiet, unless you are from downtown Atlanta, I don't think I've heard a single person talk about this guy. Unless I'm watching the game and they're like, look at the rookie. Incredible, all right? It's just insane to see how well he's doing. But ESPN has it going this order. James Pierce at 3, Abdul Carter at 2, Schlesinger at 1. I would go Schlesinger, Pierce, Jr., and then Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter, if you don't know, he was drafted by the Giants 3rd overall. It's probably going to say it right here, I'd imagine. Nope, it doesn't. Oh, well. But, yeah, his teammate Brian Burns had 16.5 sacks. So that's, when you're sitting there, it's kind of like Mason Graham on that Browns D-line. When the other person, Myles Garrett, is getting 23 sacks, you're not going to get that much. Mason Graham got half a sack, I think, the entire season, or one or one half. With your teammate getting 23, number 1, you're not going to get any. Number 2, you don't need to. And that's what the New York Giants are doing. Their D-line is so incredibly strong. That's what helped them beat Philly in week 7 or whatever it was in New York. It was insane to see. Fun fact, when the Giants played the Raiders, that was the first game where 2 teams were going head-to-head, both on a 9-game losing streak. That's insane. But the Giants ended up blowing out. And then the Raiders took out Max Crosby and had him get his foot surgery, which is kind of weird to think because it's like, are you trying to tank? I think they were, but whatever. Offensive Player of the Year. Let's jump right into it. No, so for my first 3 picks for this are Jackson Dart, quarterback for the Giants, Tyler Warren, tight end for the Colts, and Tetairoa McMillan, wide receiver for the Panthers. In that order as well, I think Jackson Dart will get 3rd. Really amazing QB, but it just kind of comes down to, with the QB battle for Offensive Rookie of the Year, the only 2 that you can kind of look at are Jackson Dart and Tyler Shuck. And with Jackson Dart having the offense that he had, Shuck had a much better completion percentage. Dart had 64, and Shuck, I believe, had a 70. Shuck actually threw for more yards, too, which is insane. Looking at, on paper, Tyler Shuck's impressive second half with the Saints deservedly earned consideration for this. But comparing him to Dart, who had been, the most productive rookie quarterback for most of the season, it's fair to say that Shuck was a better passer, but Dart made up with his legs. Dart was a rusher. Dart had I'll look at it right now. Dart had 487 passing yards, and Shuck had 186 passing yards. Dart had 2,272, and Shuck had 2,384. So, yards, in half a season, Shuck did better. But when it comes to rushing on his legs, Dart did way better, especially when you include sack yards. Dart was sacked for 152 yards, and Shuck was sacked for 195. I'm just saying, he only did that in half a season, got sacked a lot more. And he had a better QBR, too. Dart had 57.5, Shuck had 49.7. So, now that's only my case for Dart over Shuck being in my top 3. Shuck would be number 4 easily. But, moving on. To my number 2 pick, Tyler Warren, tight end out of Indianapolis. Now, Warren nearly went tape to tape as Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he slowed down as the season went along. The entire Colts did after Daniel Jones. They played the Steelers. They played the Steelers, and then it just went downhill from there. It was just very unfortunate to see. He averaged 57.6 receiving yards per game and 2 yards every route run, which is insane for the first half of the season. That fell all the way down to about 40 receiving yards a game and 1.4 yards per route from week 10 onward. So losing that kind of production is very unfortunate to see. But at the same time, that beginning of the season was just too good not to have him up here. Did Dart do enough to outbid him? I don't think so. With Tyler Warren being on that Colts team, did that Colts team probably carry him to a little success? Maybe, but I'm still giving the nod to Tyler Warren. But easily, my number 1 pick for the Offensive Rookie of the Year award is Tetairoa McMillan, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. He's the only rookie to finish over 1,000 rushing or receiving yards, and he did just enough to claim the nod for me. He reached 100 receiving yards only twice, but he was very consistently the most impactful receiver in Carolina's offense. And Bryce Young looked to him when the Panthers needed a big play. Every single time you see him, check over to the left side. And if they flipped it and had him on the right, he's looking over to the right. You watch those games, he's looking for him. So he's my pick. Do I think he will win it? Yes, absolutely. Do I think anyone else here could win it? I think Tyler Warren has a chance. I do not think Jackson Dart will win it. I think it'll be between Tyler Warren and McMillan. In my eyes, I would give a vote to McMillan, and if I get to pick, I'd pick McMillan. So let's move on. All right, new award time here. First of all, I haven't had a YouTube last year, but this is the Protector of the Year award. This award did not exist last year, and it's to give linemen the respect they deserve. Because obviously D linemen, they can win Defensive Player of the Year. A guard is never going to win Offensive Player of the Year. But here are the picks. I actually did not do research on this. I'm just going to read off of ESPN here. But the top 3 are Trent Williams, offensive tackle for the 49ers, Quentin Nelson, guard for the Indianapolis Colts, and then Aaron Brewer, the center for the Miami Dolphins, which I've heard the name, but I've never even looked into that guy's stats. I am not going to give too much thought here because I'm not going to waste your time with an opinion that I did not form myself. But the order that they have on ESPN is Trent Williams, Quentin Nelson, Aaron Brewer. If I got a vote without research, I'd give it to Quentin Nelson. I know Quentin Nelson has been a very good guard over the last few years. With the Colts collapse, it lowers the expectation for me a little bit, and it kind of takes away a little bit of voting power. But then you look at the number 1 guy, Aaron Brewer, who's on the Dolphins. You see, you guys lost to the Browns. We're the Cleveland Browns. What do you want from us? Anyways, moving on. All right, here we go. Now we're getting back into familiar territory. Comeback Player of the Year. All right. So my top 3 are Aiden Hutchinson, edge rusher for the Detroit Lions, Christian McCaffrey, running back for the San Francisco 49ers, and Dak Prescott, quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Whoa! I mentioned the Cowboys player! What is the word? Whoa! Kickstart mentioned the Dallas Cowboys player! Who are you and what have you done with the real Kickstart? What have you done? Listen, I do not hate Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's an amazing guy. Do I like the Cowboys? No. Jalen Hurts grew up, learned football, went all the way through college into the NFL, made it to a Super Bowl, lost it, got knocked out of the playoffs, then went back and won a Super Bowl, all before the Dallas Cowboys didn't even reach the NFC Championship game. Not a fan of the Cowboys. Not a fan of Jerry Jones. Dak Prescott, love the guy. And I really like George Pickens because he's funny. But here's the thing with what I've been looking at, because I've just been on the ESPN, and then I've had my picks. I did not realize that they had the finalists out yet. I didn't think they gave the finalists out till Monday afternoon. They've been out for 3 weeks now. I had no idea. So let's just go back and just say this. For Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tyler Warren is not even... where is this right here? Tyler Warren is not a Rookie of the Year finalist. The finalists that got in... there's 5 finalists, and then I'm on ESPN looking at their thoughts, even though I have my own. But they don't have Tyler Warren up there. They have... The official AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. These are the only 5 people that can win it. Jackson Dart, Emeka Mbuka, Travion Henderson, Tetairoa McMillan, and Tyler Shuck. So I still stand by my reasoning that Tetairoa McMillan should win it, but I have no idea I mean, I understand that Trayvon Henderson is a really good running back, but I don't understand how he got it over Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren was amazing. I still don't understand that. I'm just going to double check here to make sure I didn't mention any of these that didn't make the list. He made it. No! Defensive Rookie of the Year, Pierce Jr. did not make the list. That's kind of insane. The list here is Abdul Carter, Nick Emanwari, James... Oh, no, James Pierce Jr. is right here. I'm dumb. Anyways, the only two that I didn't mention were Nick Emanwari, the Seattle Seahawks DB, and then Xavier Watts, the safety for the Falcons. So Falcons have 2 candidates up there. That's pretty good. And then Comeback Player of the Year. This is one we're going off of. So my 3 that I had are all candidates. Christian McCaffrey, Aiden Hutchinson, Dak Prescott. The other 2 are Stephon Diggs and Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Trevor Lawrence deserves it. I'm sorry. But the ESPN has it listed. They have their Comeback Player of the Years. They have their Comeback Player of the Year. Troy Fautanu, offensive tackle, Aiden Hutchinson, and then Chris Olave, which is very interesting to me. I think Chris Olave could actually deserve it. I think he could be a finalist over someone like Trevor Lawrence. But in my opinion, my top 3 in reverse order, Christian McCaffrey in 3rd, Dak Prescott. Actually, no, I lied. Dak Prescott is in 3rd because they didn't make the playoffs. I keep forgetting that. Christian McCaffrey in 2nd, but my easy number 1 is without a doubt Aiden Hutchinson. Returning from a serious leg injury, Hutchinson looked every bit as impressive as he did before surgery. He had a career high in sacks. He had about 14 and a half, and then he had 35 knockdowns during a very difficult season for the Lions, which is insane because last year they lost to the Commanders because of difficulties and injuries. They were just injured to shit, and it's very unfortunate to see that happen to such a great team. They're going to be one of the best teams to ever make a Super Bowl, and now they're back, just missing their coordinators, is a healthier, stronger team, and they didn't even make the playoffs. Very unfortunate to see, but it does not change my opinion. I do believe Aiden Hutchinson is Comeback Player of the Year. The Michigan Kid. Welcome to the AP Honors. Let's move on. All right, Coach of the Year. Oh, wait. Coach of the Year and Assistant Coach of the Year. Let's do them at the same time. So, AP Coach of the Year. Here, I'm just going to start reading off the nominees because it's going to be way easier to do that instead of just pulling the names off my phone. Like, I don't want to keep doing that. Okay. Sorry. 8:44? Dude, I thought it was like noon. It's not even 9 yet. I can't even go get lunch yet. That's crazy. Anyways, AP Coach of the Year. So the candidates are Liam Cohen for the Jags, Ben Johnson for the Bears, Mike McDonald for the Seahawks, Shanahan for the Niners, and Vrabel for the Patriots. Now, obviously, 2 of those are huge outliers because 2 of them made the Super Bowl. Mike McDonald for the Seattle Seahawks and Mike Vrabel for the New England Patriots. So obviously these awards don't include playoffs, but if you're including playoffs, it's Mike Vrabel easily. Now, on paper, it's Mike Vrabel. But if you were to look at... Actually, I guess not on paper because this would also be on paper. But the statistics of what that New England Patriots team has faced to get to the Super Bowl is Candyland compared to anything else. It's insane. They had the easiest schedule. They were 32. They had the 32nd hardest schedule. That's dead last. Then, you want to hear their playoff path? Here you go. I'm looking right in the camera so you know this. Playoff Chargers. Then they had C.J. Stroud threw 4 interceptions. Then they played Jared Stidham. And they made a Super Bowl because of it. Are you kidding me? If they didn't win at least 10 games, I think Mike Vrabel would have been fired. I don't think you understand how insane that is. How insanely easy that path to the Super Bowl is. And then we'll talk about it in the MVP, because actually Drake May still had a solid MVP season. Or MVP nominated season. Spoiler, I don't think he should win it. But what they had to do, what that defense had to do, cakewalk. Denver had a 32nd easiest schedule, second easiest. Doesn't matter. Their defense was elite. It's insane, the difference between these 2 teams. Seahawks went through hell to get to where they are. I'll give my Super Bowl prediction at the end, but it's just I can't describe. Including playoffs, Mike Vrabel will be the Coach of the Year. My top 3, hot take, are Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Liam Cohen. Those are my top 3. Liam Cohen I'd put 3rd. That Jags team has been suffering for a little bit, but they had the pieces there to make a good team, and he did what needed to be done, and they made the playoffs. Couldn't get a playoff game, but they ran into the Bills, so what are you going to do? Liam Cohen is my 3rd place candidate. My second place, I'll do my first place first, because why not? I think Ben Johnson deserves it this year. He took a 5-12 Bears team and led them to a playoff win. That's awesome, especially over the Big Brother Packers. incredible to see. My old neighbor Todd, I don't know if he watches this. Sup, Todd? Bears fan, love that guy. He's my goat. He stands in his living room, plays Overwatch all the time. Goat. I just hang out with his kid, or his son, my age, and we'd walk up from the basement after playing Minecraft. He'd be standing there. Damn it! He'd be playing Overwatch. Funniest dude ever. Todd's a great guy, but he's a Bears fan. I was at his house for the double doink. That was scary. I didn't want to die. I just was friends with his kid. I didn't do it. I didn't hit the crossbar, but it's just super funny. Great guy. I don't know if Todd's ever watching this, but shout out Todd. He's a good dude. Anyways, Ben Johnson's my coach of the year, which means I give Mike Vrabel second. Now, if we're going off of statistics, in my perfect world, I think Mike Vrabel would get third because of how easy that Patriots team was set up to win and how much they did win with the easiest schedule. I'd give Liam Cohen second, but looking at how well they did, what I think will happen was Mike Vrabel will get first, Mike McDonald will get second, and Liam Cohen will get third. The last one is Kyle Shanahan. I wouldn't give it to him. They just had a down year of injuries last year. That'd be like giving if the Lions made the playoffs this year and then you give it to Ben Johnson. It's like no, I don't think he deserves it, unfortunately. So yeah, Ben Johnson is my pick to win AP Coach of the Year. And Assistant Coach of the Year, we're going to go through this real quick, but Vic Fangio, Eagles defensive coordinator, Brian Flores, Vikings defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, Broncos defensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, Seahawks offensive coordinator, and Josh McDaniels, Patriots offensive coordinator. My top three, Vance Joseph, Vic Fangio, Clint Kubiak. Give it to Clint Kubiak. Let's move on. Defensive Player of the Year. My pick for Defensive Player of the Year is without a doubt Myles Garrett.
First down. Burrow, he's under pressure, he's sacked! And there it is, a record that has stood nearly a quarter of a century has a new leader as 30-year-old Myles Garrett records his NFL record 23rd sack of the year.
Okay, good deal. That's enough. Offensive Player of the Year. Here we go. Now, there are a lot of big names out there that you could put, and you could consider almost every single quarterback to win this award. Most of them. Every quarterback that made the playoffs, you could consider to do it. But here are the picks for Offensive Player of the Year. Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. My top three are Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Those are my top three. Puka Nacua. It's mainly a battle between two, because usually what happens is it's a battle between two quarterbacks for the number one MVP, and then the loser will get Offensive Player of the Year. Not going to happen this year. I think it's going to be between Puka Nacua, Rams wide receiver, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, the Seahawks wide receiver. And there's only one reason why I don't think one person's going to win it. I believe the winner for Offensive Player of the Year is going to be Jackson Smith and Jigba. And here's why. Puka Nacua went on that live stream and made a bunch of jokes about Jews. No, I'm not kidding. That is the real reason why I do not think he will win it. Do you think after he goes on that live stream and it's like, oh, you know what my next touchdown celebration is going to be? Man, money! Making fun of Jews. I'm not, now, me saying that is like, oh, the government's run by Jewish people? What? No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that the NFL Honors Association Award, whoever elects these winners, is not going to pick someone that's being super anti-Semitic on a live stream. I'm a Christian. I'm not like being like, how dare he say that? Well, actually, I kind of am, because it's like, that's super. It's like, whoa, why on earth would you do that? I think for that reason is that's the only reason he's not going to win it. In a perfect world, looking at just stats on paper, I think Puka Nacua should get it. But I believe Jackson Smith and Jigba will get it, strictly because he didn't do that. That's the only reason. I generally think that's the only reason. Now, the AP MVP presented by Invisalign. This is not a sponsor, by the way. They sponsor the MVP thing. I'm reading off of ESPN. Don't judge me. Here we go. The candidates for your MVP are Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills, Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Drake May from the New England Patriots, Christian McCaffrey from the San Francisco 49ers, and Matthew Stafford from the Los Angeles Rams. 3 of these are not like the others. Let's get this out of the way. Josh Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Trevor Lawrence. Goodbye. I'm not including you in this. Get out. It's between 2 people. Drake May and Matthew Stafford. Who do I believe deserves the MVP? Let's just compare some statistics real quick, shall we? Let's take a look at this real quick. Josh Allen's in the middle because he's the only other quarterback other than Trevor Lawrence. But these are the 3 that you need to worry about. Or these are the 2 that you need to worry about. Drake May and Matthew Stafford. Ignore the one in the middle. First of all, games and average games, doesn't matter. QB record. 12-5, 12-5, 14-3. One of them is on the Rams, who's playing in the NFC West, where 3 of them made the playoffs. The other one is playing the 32nd easiest schedule ever. Or not ever. In the league this year. Weird. Completion percentage. 65, 69, 72. Nice job, Josh Allen. I'll give it to Drake May. 72% completion percentage. Pretty good. Pass yards. Matthew Stafford had 300 more passing yards. 4,707 compared to 4,394. That is insane. Okay, that's actually like 10 yards away from being a... it's only 13 yards away from being 200-yard difference. Still, or 300-yard difference. My point still stands. 300 yards more. Like I do not care what you say. When you had a much easier schedule, and the defense that Drake May had, I'm giving that to Matthew Stafford. That's much fair. Pass yards per attempt: 8.9, 7.9, 8.0. That's such a small difference. I don't care. Pass yards per game: 276. Are you kidding me? And then no. And then you think that's amazing? 46 touchdowns. The NFL record's 55, mind you. Peyton Manning in 2013. That Denver Broncos offense, that is the greatest offense of all time. 55 passing touchdowns. Matthew Stafford was 9 away. If he threw one more touchdown every game, he would have broke it by like 5. That's insane. And on top of that, he only threw 8 picks. Now, granted, Drake May also threw 8 picks, so they're pretty tied, but still. 46 and 8? Are you joking? Like, that's insane. A QBR, 109.2, and then 113.5. That's pretty close, but I'd still give that to May. But looking at these statistics, everyone was saying Matthew Stafford was the career leader up until they played the Seahawks. Or, excuse me, they played the Panthers, and then the Falcons, and then the Seahawks. And everyone said, it's May's award now. No, it's not. It's not May's award. This is Matthew Stafford's MVP. It is Drake May's award to lose, and he already did. This is Drake May's award to lose, and he already did. I just said that, but I'm saying it again, because I'm super sick and I don't know what I'm saying. But I do know what I'm saying when I say this. Matthew Stafford is your 2025 NFL MVP. And he's so great that only one team could beat him, and it was the Seattle Seahawks. And they're moving on, and they're going to beat Drake May in the Super Bowl after Drake May throws a goal line interception on the 1-yard line. I'm saying it right now, they're going to get revenge for the Super Bowl. I can't yell because people are trying to sleep. But go Seahawks! Go 12! I love you, Sam Darnold! Win it for me! I'm going to cut him off there because he's being psycho. But that's all we're going to have for today. Yes, I do think the Seahawks are going to win. I don't think it's going to be off a goal line interception. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. This is going to be the last video for a while. But let's just jump into what I'm going to do this weekend. So I'm going to edit this video, and I'm going to start working on another video. This is the Chad Thadley interview. This was recorded back in November, but Chad Thadley, in case you don't know, he makes skit videos online. Great dude. I reached out to him on Instagram when he had probably about 50,000 followers. Now he's got 400,000 on TikTok. Amazing guy. Couldn't think of a better person to be the first interview on here. I have other interviews lined up. There's a lot of people I'm talking to. The Bass Pro Shop's Instagram is talking to me. I'm going to adjust my camera here. Because I reached out to them, and I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, hey, what's up, Bass Pro? Can I get a car? And they didn't respond. But they did it first, and then they haven't responded since. That was back in October. But Chad Thadley and I have been planning this for about 6 months now. We finally got it recorded in November. It's about 2.5 hours, so it's going to be well to record. But I plan to post that Sunday afternoon when there's no football games. That's going to be my video. And then that's it for YouTube for a little bit, unless I can figure out how to record my live streams on KNMC. But if you want to keep hearing from me, please go reach out. Instagram and YouTube at Kickstart Sports Radio. All space, no caps. Or no caps, no space. Oh my gosh. KSC, KSTEARTS, PRTS, RDO. Kickstart Sports Radio. Reach me there. Or you can listen live on KNMC, and we have a call-in line too. It's in the description. You can find us KNMC or msun.edu/KNMC. You can also go, if you're in the Havre area, 90.1 FM. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. Find a way for the A. Have a great day, everybody. Past me, you'll see you Sunday. Present me, we'll see you in May. Have a great one, everybody.